So I want to talk about the idea of expectation. I was reading something related to Florence Scovel Shinn, and most of her talks are about digging your ditches and presenting faith to the idea that you want to manifest in this world. Digging your ditches means that you prayed for the rain, and now you are digging the ditches so that the rainwater would go into the ditches and you can use it later. Basically, showing faith to the universe that you are expecting this to happen. And faith is really messed up by religious beliefs and all that is taught in the world, that you must beg or believe or hope. No, faith is totally opposite. Faith is a quiet confidence or trust that you have placed your order in Amazon, and now you trust that Amazon will deliver whatever you have placed there. And we do exactly the same when we put faith in God. By first we change our assumptions, or we pray, or whatever we do, and we start, after that we expect it to appear in our world, and we don't care how, when, where. We just expect it to happen. But a lot of the time, and I think this is the answer to why some manifestations take long for some people and others not, because deep down we are expecting something to appear at a certain time. And the great example in my life is that the studio apartment that I have bought in Russia, I imagined it 4 years ago, and I had the money to buy something like that for a long time. But since I was in a long distance relationship with my now wife, and I was not expecting to come to Russia or get the whole thing put together immediately or fast or in a few months, I projected subconsciously in the future that I have this flat, or I will get this flat in the coming years. So it took 4 years. So when you apply for a job, are you expecting to get the job? Are you expecting to get rejected? When you are assuming to have a certain type of wealth, certain amount of wealth, are you expecting it to be in the future, or you are bringing it here and now? As Naval Gaddar said when he was teaching law of assumption in his lectures, that bring there, here, and then now. So he taught to imagine what you want in the now moment and accepting it as true now, and then going about your day having the faith that it is done. Basically what he was teaching was to feel what you want real now, in this now moment, and then go about your day, live your life expecting it to happen or appear in your world. And he gave this example that each seed has its own appointed hour and whatnot. Like a pregnant woman takes 9 months, and he gave example of other animals and stuff like that. But what I want to add in this idea is, are you putting your desires in the future? And because subconsciously we are humans, we put logic into everything. So are you thinking that it's gonna take you X amount of years to achieve what you want to achieve? Because if you are doing that, you are expecting it to not happen fast. You are expecting it to happen in the future. Or are you expecting insidiously that what you have assumed is not gonna happen? You see, it is a very insidious feeling. Our expectations are contrary to what we want. A lot of people come to me and ask questions about their SP, right? The specific person that they want to manifest. They want to manifest marriage. They want to get married to a person, or they just want to get married, or they want love in their life. Well, are you expecting love? Are you expecting getting married with the person that you want, or are you insidiously expecting that it's never gonna happen, but you're still trying to do it magically with law of assumption? Well, the assumptions only go through if we are expecting them, if we believe, if we know. Belief is also messed up word. Belief, you don't need belief, you need to know. Faith is knowing that God will deliver you. It's a knowing. Just like we know when we order something on Amazon that something will show up definitely. Maybe it will get delayed a few days or not, maybe it will be broken, but something will show up. And 99% of the times, correct thing will show up. That's faith. And that's Amazon, that's human built system. We're talking about the system of God, the grand architect or the source or the living waters out of which everything comes. So expect perfection from the grand architect and expect that you will get married. No, expect you are married and you're just expecting it to appear, show up in your world at the perfect time, which God knows. And I was reading a post on Reddit. There is a group dedicated to Neville Goddard there, and I often time to time go there just to refresh my memory, because we forget about the law of assumption. That's our vegetable memory forgets everything. We manifest something and then we're like, wow, it worked, and then we forget about it, and then we get kicked by life again. We come back to law of assumption. So I go to Reddit from time to time, and somebody wrote a very nice post there, and they said that how do you know that tomorrow is gonna go normally like you're expecting it, right? We're all expecting we're gonna wake up, we're gonna go to our job, it's gonna be the regular Monday, we're gonna crunch some numbers, and we're gonna come back home and eat something that we normally eat. So, and we are not doubting it at all. But how do you know that, God forbid, you get into an accident tomorrow? Do you know that? No, you don't. But you're not expecting it. And often people who get into accident are expecting it because they are down and out. A lot of people, when life is not going their way, they mentally check out. And their soul is so down that they end up manifesting an accident. So that I don't want to talk about that. It can become a little bit touchy subject for some, but yes, we do. A lot of people do manifest accidents, but 99% people are not expecting life to go differently, so their life goes to exactly by the routine, exactly by the expectation. And what is Neville Goddard teaching you? He is teaching you radical change in the mind. Radical change in the mind. And if a person is struggling financially for years, well, for them, a radical change of mind is expecting wealth. Well, how ludicrous or foolish or unrealistic is that? And it feels that way initially for such a person, because you've been living and expecting a certain kind of life for so long that expecting something else is difficult. Just like a lot of people who have had bad relationships with a few people, like a number of people, they start to expect the same behavior from every single relationship they get into, and this person ends up kind of playing out the same pattern, and people say, see, I expected it. All I find is like bad people. Well, you expected it. Expectation is magical. So if you are expecting life to be different, it has to become different for you, because you are projecting a different future. You're projecting a different sort of consciousness and assumptions into the world, and this world is a magical medium. I've talked about a number of times on my channel that this is a dream in the mind of the all. It's a malleable substance, and God is dreaming this dream, and we, the individualized aspect of God, the essence of God within the dream, if we wake up, we can change this dream to our advantage as well. This is the teaching of Neville Goddard in a nutshell. Change your assumptions, your life will change. Well, change your assumption and then expect them as well to appear in your world. That's what persistence is, right? You say that you are an abundant person now, even though your current immediate reality is not showing it, but you expect it. You stick with your assumption. You say, I am an abundant person because I am one with God, and God is infinite, and God is abundant. So I'm abundant. And you persist with it. And then you persist enough, you start expecting it. You get excited about it. You get excited at the potential in the world everywhere. All of a sudden you start to see opportunities that were not that were present, but you couldn't see them before because you were not expecting them. And so this expectation snowballs into abundance for that person. So I guess the idea of this video is examine your expectations for your day-to-day life. Are you expecting what you say that you want, or you are expecting something else? Because chances are, and myself, I'm guilty of it, we expect routine. We expect the opposite of what we want. And if we just change our expectations and get excited for what is coming for us, it will show up much faster, and stop conditioning your desires and putting them in the future. Like me, 4 years in the future. If I had just imagined it that I have this flat, or I brought there, here, and then now, maybe it would have happened much faster. But I don't regret it. Absolutely. It's a journey, it's beautiful, and ultimately it's an experience, and it's very nice. But positive expectations, Neville Goddard taught this affirmation, isn't it wonderful? And he taught the story, he told the story of a woman who was pretty old, I think 60-ish, and she was bad. She had no one to take care of her, and she had financial troubles. And this woman started repeating, isn't it wonderful, by sitting in a chair and relaxing into a state of alpha state, as she repeated, isn't it wonderful, isn't it wonderful, isn't it wonderful. And I think in a month or so, a person, a friend, a common friend, she used to know in the past, all of a sudden appeared and wrote her a check of a hefty amount, all of a sudden, out of nowhere. And after that, this man made a trust or so from where she could get the money monthly, every single month. Enough money, more than enough money that she knew what to do with every single month. So what was she doing? Isn't it wonderful? What is isn't it wonderful? It's an expectation. You are expecting life to become wonderful. That's what she did. She changed her expectation. She was assuming that life is about to get wonderful. And she was living life in this anticipation of things to become wonderful. And lo and behold, she could never have devised how universe played that beautifully, and she got more than enough money, luxurious amount of money for the rest of her life. And so this isn't it wonderful affirmation, it builds your expectation for life to become wonderful. Now wonderful is a generic thing, so it could be, you could go on a vacation, you could get great health, you could get, like, it's a great affirmation for manifesting general good life. But again, expectation, what are you expecting? Whatever you're expecting will show up, and this includes negative things too. But we have some buffer time, as Abraham Hicks was talking about it in one of her lectures, that we have a buffer time. There is a delay of manifestation in this world, because if it was immediate, we are so immature in our thoughts, we are so bad in our internal talks and our imagination, that we would have manifested absolute chaos in this world if it was instantaneous. So each seed has its appointed hour. You just plant the seed and expect it, and it will grow into the seed that you planted it to be. So this is it for this video. Until next time. Bye.